Welcome back to Idiots with Pipes. I'm your host, Jeremiah. This is Scott. A few other guys
also the host
decided to join us here. And the grandest of them all. The king, granddaddy, chief wizard, Eddie Gray of the Pipe Nook. Maybe you've heard of him. Possibly not.
We like to help the little man out from time to time.
Thanks, guys.
Well, obviously it works because you're like 12 times the amount of subscribers as us.
You're welcome.
Maybe 20 times, I'm not
Really?
sure. But yeah, you're welcome.
I have a very hard to come by blend, aka you can't get it. So it's from Nile of Nine.
Ever.
Yeah, you can't get it ever. So he came out with, I think, 30 tins or so of Marley's Deep Reserve. I don't remember what's in it. Just greatness. It's really good. So shout out to Big John, Nile of Nine. This Marley's Reserve is awesome.
One of the greatest Christmas stories ever.
It is a very, very good one. I read it every year. What are you
Well,
smoking
I'm not
there?
surprised to hear you say that.
I'm smoking some Cornell and Deal Golden Days of Yore.
Well, that's a good one.
That is a good
That's a good one. Yeah.
It's got an excellent room note.
It does. And we smoked that on our last episode, and I think that's quickly rising up, not far behind this one.
Mm-hmm.
It really was a toss-up between the two, until I smoked this one twice and went, this is the winner.
No, I smoked this the first time. I was like, I'm going to enjoy this till I smoke it all and can never get it again. Then I'll go mad chasing the
That
elusive,
elusive,
flavor for the rest of my life.
That will never exist.
yeah.
Mm-mm. And even if I found the exact same thing, I wouldn't imagine it the same. I'd be like, oh, that's not the same thing.
Yep.
So I'll never enjoy it again.
So what you got there, Josh?
Sutliff's Holiday Mixture.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite tasty. It's not an aromatic. They call it an American blend.
Mm-hmm.
So I really liked it the first time I tried it, and it's been my go-to since.
Holiday mixture.
Yeah.
Never had it.
An American blend.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean it's burley based or?
I think it's Virginia. It's a Virginia Burley blend.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Was it blended in America?
I mean, yes.
Just checking.
Well, there you
Just
go.
checking.
It's an American.
Josh, that is a beautiful pipe you have there.
Thank you. Yeah. This is my Viking Christmas pipe. I think circa 2022.
What does circa mean?
It means about or roughly. I believe it is
I was thinking like around.
yeah.
Mine's circa
Yeah.
2.
Like,
Yeah.
right? I was like, we're all circa.
Yeah, so circa pipes.
Oh,
We're
good.
sitting in a semi-circa. you could
Yeah.
say.
It's very pretty.
Thank you.
It reminds me of this year's Savinelli Christmas
Yes.
pipe.
Eddie, what you got over there?
Well, this is not necessarily a Christmas pipe, but this is a LCS Briars pipe.
Okay.
London Calling with Simon is a YouTube channel, and
Okay.
he makes these pipes. He makes pipes on his site. You can watch him working on pipes.
Wow, that's
really cool.
Yeah.
But I actually got this from my buddy Cliff, and it's got that green acrylic stem, so it's kind of festive and Christmassy. You
I
know.
would say so, yeah.
But it's a 9mm filtered pipe, which a lot of artisan pipe makers don't like to make those.
That's fair.
But he does, so
It's really cool.
yeah. So I got this from my buddy Cliff. This was a Christmas present, so Cliff, if you're watching, thanks so much. Actually, I owe him for it, but
We can get that part out. You don't need to be reminded. Or
Christmas present that you owe him for.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Well, Cliff, also, if you're watching and you would like to give out more Christmas presents that we wouldn't owe you for, we're here.
Anyway, yeah. Well, so Josh has been the only other guy that actually is smoking a Christmas pipe. We can go next. What you drinking there, sir?
So I'm actually drinking Glenfodry Speyside Scotch. Me being a Scotch guy, I got the bottle right here.
So that's your favorite Christmas drink?
Yeah, I mean, I like Scotch, all types of Scotch, but this just seemed like a good festive beverage. It's got some warm spice notes in it, candied fruit, what you would expect out of the season. So, big fan of that.
So it's not a Christmas drink?
It
Okay,
is-
great. Moving on. Jeremiah, what you got there, bud?
Also, not a Christmas tree.
Okay, great. Eddie, what you got over there?
I'm glad you asked. So actually, we spoke beforehand, and I was going to bring some eggnog because eggnog is my favorite Christmas drink. And you said, well, I make homemade eggnog. And I thought,
Put that down. Hang on. If you're not going to ping it, you can't use it. Close it up. You have to ping it to use it.
There's one rule of using the lighter. You got to ping it. I was privileged to use it.
He's over here, like, quietly sneaking.
Well,
I don't want to interrupt Eddie. He was
You
trying to
already
talk.
did. You made it worse of an interruption.
No,
because
you're the
now-
one who
Look at this. Look at
caused
this scene you caused.
You're the scene.
Right.
You're the scene.
Eddie, please continue. Sorry, I apologize for my friend.
so where was I?
how great my eggnog was, I think.
Yeah, it's a really good eggnog, Scott. Thank you so much. And
Suck up.
I will say it's stronger than what the store bought. You know, I go cheap and get the Evan Williams store bought eggnog.
Sure.
But you are quite handy and crafty to make your own.
Why don't you
So
tell
it's
us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so it's passed down from generations. It's a family secret that I found online about 2 years ago. But no, really, it's Dwight D. Eisenhower's eggnog recipe. I follow as closely as I have patience for because it takes him, I think, an hour to make it. I don't go that slow. But you egg yolks, mix them in sugar, pour a whole bunch of alcohol, which is Evan Williams. So I prefer, I think that gives the best flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Then you pour coffee creamer, let it sit till you're ready. Then you pour some heavy whipping cream on top to fluff it up. And there you go. Sprinkle a little nutmeg in it. That's it. Pretty simple.
Sounds disgusting, I'm not going to lie.
But it does take a while to make. So I wasn't going to make it until Eddie goes, oh, I'll just bring eggnog. So, okay, fine. I'll make eggnog if you're going to make it. You want to drink it. I wasn't going to drink it solo.
That sacrilegious sack of crap in his house. He will not have any artificial
not
eggnog.
tolerate it.
Yes, that's right.
So I did make eggnog last year, like I do every year. And I put the recommended amount of alcohol. I was like,
This is weak.
so weak.
Well, wait.
So I did up it a little bit. That's probably why it tastes a little stronger, because it does taste a lot better now.
And I see you added, what is that on top? Nutmeg?
I sprinkled a little nutmeg on top to kind of finish it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it very
Ground,
festive.
freshly ground. One whole nutmeg.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Only the best. And so I did cut you off because it's not a Christmas drink, but we will allow you to speak. What are you drinking?
Some kind of scotch Josh brought. Tomatin, you say?
Tomatin.
Only
Highland
the
Scotch.
finest single malt Highland Scotch, all the way from, you guessed it, Scotland.
Oh.
There it is.
And there it is, magically appearing over my right shoulder.
That is right.
First time I tried it, it's actually good. It's actually really good. There's a lot of notes in here, which I am not complex enough to pick up, but
You are not.
One day, maybe. Now that you've
it is good though. It's I've actually never had a Highland before. I'm a big fan of Islay Scotches.
Yep, same.
You still get some of that same flavor, but it's not as punchy in the mouth with smoke. The peat isn't as strong, but it is, which I typically would think I wouldn't like, because I like that about Scotch. But it is good. It's really good. I recommend you try it
Oh, we'll.
sometime.
Happily.
Yeah, when you're done.
Since you're becoming a Scotch guy,
When
I
you're
think I'll
done,
you'll have more of it
I've
around.
always liked Scotch. Okay, I just know what's better. That's all.
Yeah, you're drinking it. Yeah, I agree.
You know, I actually prefer Scotch in the wintertime. I think it's more of a. It's like a hug, you know, like a cup of coffee in the morning when you're just waking up. It's like this nice, warm, cozy hug.
I start my
okay,
mornings
buddy.
off with Scotch too.
Scotch in the coffee.
Yeah.
A little coffee in the Scotch.
All
Yeah.
right, Ron Burgundy.
I just skip the coffee altogether.
Right. Yeah.
It helps get through the day.
Yeah. I agree.
Another one of these days.
And it's funny because I put bourbon in the eggnog, and it's the one time I really like bourbon is in eggnog in the wintertime.
Except that your shelf has 90% bourbon and you've got like 2 bottles of Scotch.
You
Well,
know
someone
why?
keeps bringing it to him.
And I keep drinking the good stuff. That's why it's not there. The Scotch is going to disappear, and the bourbon's sitting there. I'm aging it. Yeah.
You're aging it in a glass bottle.
It's called Angel Share, I believe.
Yeah. That. Well, Josh had a question earlier.
I
Fire away
did.
again.
I did have a good question. If y'all had any odd or
Okay,
interesting...
cool. All right, Jeremiah, you think you had some questions too?
I was going to ask if you guys had any odd or interesting like Christmas traditions.
Oh, great question.
Yeah.
Great
Oh,
question.
that is such a good
I've
question.
got,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I've got thoughts for all of you.
We have thoughts.
I will mail them later.
What kind, well, just go ahead and say what kind of thoughts they are.
Well, I despise you, and you might get a letter in the mail.
Where is this coming from?
It's just...
We've shown nothing but the I mean, I think
Right.
Eddie will attest here. Nothing but the utmost respect.
Could just be a jealous nature.
I think so.
Oh,
Very interesting. Back to my question. Any strange or interesting Christmas traditions you guys have?
So, around the holidays, so I know that Thanksgiving has passed, but we used to go bowling on Thanksgiving night.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
It's not a
always...
Christmas tradition.
It's not. but I should have led with holiday tradition.
Well, we skipped your question and moved to mine,
You
which
sure
is
did.
Christmas. Yeah,
Christmas.
You sure did. He said.
So, yeah.
I do. I'm old enough to remember when that happened. Just a
I'm
short
old
time
enough to
ago.
forget.
Any Christmas traditions, Scott?
No, we do with my parents, my sister and her family. We get Christmas pajamas on Christmas Eve every year. So
That's
one
fun.
present. It's always Christmas pajamas,
Yeah.
usually matching. And so yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
I feel about it.
Sounds like something your
far
wife
as-
put you up to.
100%.
guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Really strange.
So,
Yep.
go ahead. You got anything?
Can't really think of a Christmas tradition. I mean, we do a few things. We have a Christmas morning breakfast with my wife's mother at her house.
Your wife's mother. I like how you those degrees of separation. Let me make it as clear as possible that
She's an outstanding, lovely woman.
she's probably never gonna see this. So
Well,
Just in
it
case.
still stands.
Yeah.
But she always makes sausage balls for breakfast.
Oh, they're
Ooh,
so
yes,
good.
okay.
Love those things.
Yeah.
sausage balls.
And another Christmas tradition, I guess, would be my wife and I just listening to the kids day after day beg to take down all the Christmas decorations from the attic.
And leaving them up till.
And then we madly put everything out on,
Oh, I
a
thought you
couple of
meant
days
taking them
before
down,
Christmas.
like putting them away. Please
No.
put the Christmas decorations away. It's July
Yeah,
and people are laughing at us.
We've gotten several letters from our HOA.
You mean taking them down to put them up?
Yeah.
So they can't wait to get
Wait,
them
so
up.
are yours not up yet?
Keep them all in the attic. No, this year actually we did pretty good. Everything's out.
What?
so.
When do you guys put them up? Typically, or when do you
Typically
like
a week before Christmas.
Holy cow.
Oh, wow.
You
Yeah.
take them down?
And then they stay up way too long.
Oh, okay.
Sometime in January.
I'm probably
They'll
the
get put away.
exact opposite because pretty much the beginning of November we
I was
put our
gonna
Christmas
say.
decorations up. But humble brag here. The 3 years we've lived in our neighborhood, I've won first place in our Christmas house decorating contest every year, and no big deal, no big deal. Just
Just a major award.
it's just a
Major
major
award.
award. Yeah.
Just
It
brings
came
it up
with
every single time.
a free cup, a gift card for like $25 to Target.
Okay.
Dude. And a first place little, letter. Not even a plaque, just a little letter. But the point is,
They're framed
I
in this
got it.
house right now.
I got it and you don't. That's the point.
So I was 100% against anything before Thanksgiving for as long as I've been alive. You don't put decorations up anytime. Thanksgiving, game on. Not before.
I used
I
to
was
feel that
that
way.
way.
I used to feel that way, but
I was the same way. But being married to my wife, we have to put them up early. And
he says we have to.
We
Being
do.
married to my wife, I have to do what
I
she
do.
says.
I have to put them up early. And we take them down the day after Christmas.
Wow.
Now, so you don't take it down before New Year's, it's bad luck.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that explains
There
a lot.
that does, yeah. But I will say Jeremiah conned me into it this year. I came to my wife about a week and a half before Thanksgiving and went, okay, you know what? We'll put decorations up before Thanksgiving. And her whole day changed. It was like, yes! And off she went. And we started getting stuff down. It was about a week before. I give Jeremiah full credit.
2.5 hours later, the whole house is decorated.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was full speed ahead, but it made her whole week. It was great. So we have now a new tradition. And speaking of tradition, one last thing I'll say when we started is something I've never heard of before, but frying. You fry turkeys.
Yep.
Frying a rib roast, a prime rib.
Interesting.
So we've done it 3 years in a row. The first time it was too frozen, so the middle was absolutely raw.
Yeah.
Outside was perfect. Last year we tried it. We cooked it over to compensate, and so it was just completely well done.
Yeah.
Not like a rare steak, so that
Yeah.
wasn't good. So this year, third time's a charm. So it's our new tradition. We deep fry a prime rib on Christmas.
We're gonna try
For
something.
Christmas.
Yeah, we're gonna try something new this year, and I
Yeah.
think we're gonna try to make it a tradition.
Yeah.
Where Des is actually gonna make a beef Wellington
Okay.
for Christmas dinner, and then we're inviting her parents and my parents, and then my brother over, and everyone's gonna bring a side. We're gonna do the main dish, and that's gonna be fun.
That's awesome.
Another tradition is that my parents used to do a scavenger hunt, like so a Santa scavenger hunt. When we were little, and my boys are too young now, but when they get older, we want to do the same thing for them. We want to do the night before, go and hide little notes all over the house that will direct them all around. And the first year they did it for a go-kart, which was really fun. Yeah. So I want to be able to do the same thing for
That's pretty cool.
boys.
Actually, yeah.
We did that for a few years. Where the big present was always you'd open up like 6 boxes. It's a box in a box in a box, and you get to the very end, and it's a note with your first clue. And then you have to chase the clues around the house to find the big present.
So,
Right.
hang on 1 second. Let me get this right up on the mic here. All right, go ahead. Carry on.
That was it. Yep. So Christmas tradition, good. Okay. All right, what else?
Christmas.
So-
Best Christmas song.
Oh yeah, don't worry about my Christmas tradition. That's fine. Just go
No.
through you three knuckleheads.
That's
and
what I
then
figured.
skip mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a favorite
You don't
Christmas
have
song?
one. You don't have one. You said that.
Uh,
I'm pretty sure you said that.
when? Just now? I don't remember that. Do you
What I
guys
mean is,
remember?
like, I didn't want to hear it.
No.
So
No, it's kind of boring actually. We just
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
we get the. That's what I'm doing. I'm going ahead.
Go ahead.
You have my permission to continue. Thanks.
It,
Um.
if you don't feel safe, we can trade places.
Well, no, because I'm just going to be in his eye line. Right now I'm behind him, so he
Thinks
doesn't.
he's hidden back there. My peripheral vision is very well trained. No, we have this Christmas tradition of Christmas Eve, actually. The kids all open one present, and it's always a book. Well, we get each other, everyone has a book to open for Christmas Eve.
That's cool.
That's, and a lot of times they have a book that, like, theirs is usually a Christmas book that we can read them
That's,
to bed that night, at bedtime that night.
you've got twins.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get them separate books?
They get one to share.
Do they? And that
Well
makes
played.
perfect sense. That actually makes perfect sense.
But I believe before I was rudely interrupted by you rudely asking another question. What was the question?
The question was best Christmas song.
Best Christmas song. I think we should go in the same order. Scott, what do you got?
So mine's a close tie between two.
Okay.
It's hard to pick. It really is.
It is.
It really is. So I'm going to go with two, and both for, I guess, the reasons behind the song. One for the writing and one for, I guess, what I put into the song. So the first one is How Many Kings by Down Here.
Okay.
Great song. But Richie was on our show a while back. He can sing it, perfectly. Sounds just like the guy.
Richie is a very, very good singer.
So we played it. Played a couple times with him, and the last time we played it was in church, and it was his mom's his last Christmas. His mom was with him, so him and I think his brother was there too. They both sang it together. It was so great, but just the meaning behind the song, I guess that's more for him. But I love the song because I play bass, and the bass line is so much fun to play, and it's such a cool song to listen to. So How Many Kings, and then the other one I would go with I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day, the Casting Crowns version. And what I didn't know when I was learning how to play the song for church one year is that the song was written by a guy during the Civil War. Okay, now I'm hooked.
Right.
He wrote it. It was on Christmas morning. I think he just lost his son in the war. I think he actually got to spend time with his son before he died of his wounds. But he was, I think it was in 64 or 65. So the war's been dragging on for so long. And it would just shocked him that, even though all this tragedy, all this war is going on, the bell still rang, and I heard the bells on Christmas Day, just to remind him of all the different things he talks about in the song. But it's such a, when I read that story, the history on it, I was like, I love this song. The history of it is so cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So those two are my favorite songs.
That's cool. I always like to hear the history behind things like that. Like, it makes you like them more.
Right.
But Eddie, do you even like Christmas?
I like Christmas. I don't typically like Christmas songs.
Oh, here we go.
No. As a matter of fact, I used to work at a place that would pump in Christmas music starting the day after Thanksgiving.
I will say, if I had to listen to it all day at work, every single day on a loop, I would probably lose my mind.
But it was like the same 30 songs over and over and over and over and over.
So I'm going to take a guess at your favorite song, even though you're not a fan.
Okay.
You're probably I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas guy.
Yeah.
I think you would really enjoy.
I enjoy that song.
Deck the Halls to War Pigs. The tune of War Pigs.
You're probably right.
I probably would like that.
Do you have, so is there any Christmas song you tolerate then?
Well, I will say, just as an album, A Charlie Brown Christmas
Oh, phenomenal.
is
Phenomenal.
Christmas for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
do that.
And I can't pick any one song off that album. It's just that album.
The whole thing just sounds.
Love it.
I have it on vinyl. It's fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I do like Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Any particular version?
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Josh, fire away.
So Nat King Cole's The Christmas Song.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I love Nat King Cole. I think I have 3 of his albums.
Wow.
On vinyl. And
is a-
I think
That is. I was just gonna say that's a great song.
it's a fantastic
It's
song.
almost as good as mine, but it's a good one.
I'm really interested to hear
Yeah,
yours.
what you got there, Jeremiah?
It's pretty simple.
Is it?
It's pretty simple. Oh Holy Night.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh,
Love it. Think it's unbeatable. If it's done right, I get like goosebumps every time I hear
so
it.
favorite version?
I don't know. I haven't put that much thought into it.
Of course you haven't.
Yeah, of course not. Okay, fine. All right, well, let's start with you again. What's the worst one then?
The worst version.
No, what's the worst song?
What's-
Christmas
well,
song. You got the
Christmas
best.
shoes.
I just think that it's interesting that for like Christmas is about Christ.
Right.
It's in the name, and you don't pick a song about Christ. I'm just not surprised. I suppose I should say.
Thank you
Yeah.
for that.
You choose nostalgia over our Lord and Savior.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love Eddie's like, shame. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. No, I love Nat King Cole's The Christmas Song. It is great. Great song. It's so nostalgic, too. There's probably... I think a lot of those old songs, like the original versions like that, are so good, and that's probably one of the best, if not the best, of that.
I mean, I was just listening to it on vinyl in our last video.
Yeah, I think I actually dubbed that in. He was listening to Taylor Swift again.
Shh, they don't need our filming secrets.
Yeah. Worst Christmas song, you said.
Christmas shoes.
That's a contender for
Yeah,
sure.
Taylor Swift made a Christmas album.
Does it have Christmas shoes on it? Because I can't,
No.
I can't imagine I would like it.
Well, she has that one song. What was it? Something about Christmas. You know what I'm talking about? What's the one I always hear? I literally hear it like in the stores all the time. It's a Christmas pop song she does. I don't know that she sounds like an original.
You know she was raised on a Christmas tree farm.
It's also
Really?
true. She was.
I did not know that.
Quite
Yeah.
a bit. Is your wife also a Swiftie like Scott's here?
I used to be a Swiftie.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, myself. Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm surprised.
Early, two or 3 albums.
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh, when she was country. Okay. I
Yeah.
liked her when she was country.
Pop country. Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
you say Christmas shoes. That is
Christmas
terrible. That is terrible. I like basically any of the terrible Christmas songs. I think are the worst Christmas songs. I didn't mean to say I like. I think basically any terrible Christmas songs, terrible Christmas song. Christmas shoes, all like the kid ones, like I Saw Mommy's Kissing Santa Claus, the
I want a
hippopotamus.
hippopotamus for Christmas.
I
Great
hate
song.
all of those songs. They're so annoying.
I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus.
That's what I said.
Oh, yeah.
You trying to say it again?
No, I thought
I'm
you
gonna
said
cut you out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then cut you for real.
You really
Just kidding.
somehow
No,
it's
that
gonna
was-
it's gonna shrink me out of the.
It's gonna be a black shadow, like the black square that
You know, like
blocks your
Grandma
eyes.
got ran over by a reindeer?
That one, I hate that one as well. That basically like those. I think all of those are the worst Christmas songs. They're so annoying to me. Even like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman. I do not like those songs at all.
Oh my goodness.
I love Bing Crosby, but his Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is terrible.
Trash. Yeah.
It is. It is terrible.
But anyway, all right. So Christmas shoes.
The
You-
whole
you hate
conglomerate
children's music.
of-
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Eddie, what you got?
Mine probably would be Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Did I say that one?
That's
Because
fair.
add that to the list, please.
No,
Yeah.
you did. Say
I
that.
said that one. You said you also hate it.
hate that song. But also any Christmas song by any former members of the Beatles.
What? Wonderful Christmas Time.
Wonderful Christmas Time. So This Is Christmas.
Oh, I despise that song.
I like that one, but not their version of it. Wonderful Christmas Time. Hate that song. It might act like I cringe when I think I hate it more for some reason than the kids' Christmas songs.
It's like matter and
Like,
antimatter. It's like an
Cringe when it comes
anti-song.
on.
So-
It's an anti-song. Yes, that's great.
The
I like
Shins
that.
covered that, and I think they did a better version than.
There is no
than
such
Paul
thing
McCartney.
as a. I guess it could be not. We're not going to call it better. We're going to call it not as terrible.
That's fair, but the Shins
Thank you.
are one of my favorite bands, and I think they did a good tribute to it.
They were pretty influential for the knees.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what you did there. What are you smoking there, Josh?
Golden Days of Yore.
Oh, that's right. I already asked that.
Yeah, you did ask that.
So what's this right here? 11th Day of Christmas, Ravenwood.
Yeah, I
What'd
brought
you say?
that. I brought that for everybody. If
You
they
did?
want- Yes.
Oh, okay.
Has it been opened before?
It has not. So
Ooh, should I open it?
you should.
Being the kind host that I am,
You're
I feel like
very
I should
generous.
I should entertain everyone and open
Okay.
this, smoke some for myself.
So
here.
what is it?
It's a straight Virginia from Ravenwood.
Straight Virginia.
Straight
Go
for a Christmas straight Virginia?
Christmas straight Virginia.
I haven't opened a
A
10.
Christmas straight Virginia.
Yeah,
But you do that
Who
for
do
you?
they think they are? McClellan?
that's. It's actually supposed to be based off of McClellan's
Christmas
Look
cheer?
Christmas
at
cheer, yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's
pretty,
so
huh?
pretty. You'll show it to the camera there.
I do want to show it to the camera.
That's
Do
so
something
pretty.
I've never done before. This is against my religion, but hey, can you focus on that?
Hey.
What do you think? Probably not. But
You gotta put your hand behind it when you do that.
oh, is that what you gotta
Yeah.
do?
That's the autofocus magic.
I'm untalented in that, you know. What are you doing? There's no wind in here.
There wasn't.
There wasn't. They put it in this nice little bag for you.
There's a lot of hot air coming from the left.
And thoughts?
Don't get political on us, Josh. See what I did there? This is what I
Okay.
did is took. Okay, all right. You gonna have some of this?
Yeah, why not?
Take a whiff there.
Okay.
Kind of got this
So
vinegary.
I
notes
hear
that
it's
come
supposed to have a
with
slight
aged Virginia.
citrus
I do
hay
get-
note
I would get the
Yeah.
citrus, the hay, and the
and then
vinegar.
spices. It's supposed to have
Okay.
some like
Okay. And vinegar.
yeah.
You're just gonna chew on it, Eddie?
I just
It
Just
smells great.
Snort it. So let's talk about best favorite Christmas movies. You can give a top 3 if you want. That's fine. I'll accept that.
I think that's a better idea.
Okay, where we starting?
Christmas movies.
Yeah,
Christmas
let's go ahead,
movies.
Josh. You go first.
So I think
Cool. All right, Eddie, what do you think?
Well,
Come on, Josh. Let's hear it.
Muppet Christmas Carol is probably way up there. I think it's a phenomenal movie. It does the retelling of Christmas Carol very well. I also think that Home Alone is another fantastic Christmas movie.
Okay.
And I'm going to end with an odd one.
I'm
I
not
think
surprised.
I think everyone's aware of White Christmas. But there was a movie that came out beforehand with Bing Crosby called Holiday Inn. And I'm actually more a fan of that movie. And it came out, I think, 12 or 13 years prior to White Christmas. And it has White Christmas in it, the song. It was actually written for Holiday Inn.
interesting.
But the song was so popular that they made another movie.
I feel like you picked that as one of your favorites just so you could tell this story.
Do you want
Like you're
to
just
know
taking
more?
as much stage time as you can to tell this story.
Well, this is my only second time on the show. I'm going to take as much stage time as I
I'm
can.
gonna cut it all out.
I
Go
know
ahead,
you
go
are.
ahead. I'm just kidding.
So, there's a scene where so Fred Astaire is in Holiday Inn, and he shows up on Christmas Eve, plastered, and he wants to. He dances, and Fred Astaire is a phenomenal was a phenomenal dancer.
Morbid.
And so every single take that he would stop, take a shot of whiskey, and do the scene over again. Because he was such a phenomenal dancer, he didn't want it to seem like he wasn't drunk when he did it, because that's the point. He shows up plastered. It took 15 takes for him to feel like he was drunk enough to do that scene.
Sounds like
And
you're kind
still-
of man, real alcoholic, huh?
That's right. And it's insane that after 15 takes and whiskey after each one, that he can still dance that way.
So that's why you like it. It has nothing to do with Christmas. You just
No,
like the way
no.
another man dances.
I love to watch men dance.
Not surprised.
And so, Eddie, moving
Speaks
on.
volumes.
Favorite Christmas movie?
Goodness. Well,
After that, I mean, who can follow that up with?
yeah.
You got to tell a story and a half now. You can't just.
Well, there's the age-old question: is a Christmas movie considered a Christmas movie because of its Christmas themes or because it was...
Are you gonna say Die Hard?
Yeah.
Well, you
About
have
the crowd.
Gremlins, you have Die Hard. There's plenty others, but
No and no. So I think you know the answer to that
I-
age-old question.
I would say if you're just talking about best movie that's based around Christmas time, I mean Die Hard. I love Die Hard.
It's a good one.
But for a Christmassy movie, Muppet Christmas Carol's really good. I love A Christmas Story. Even though, you know, I mean, it's nostalgic for a time way before me. Just the nostalgic feel of it, I really get into that. What else? There's tons of Christmas specials that aren't Christmas movies. One of my favorites is, of course, Charlie Brown Christmas, but Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, which was a Jim Henson short.
That was recently suggested to me.
Oh man, I have it.
I've never seen it.
On VHS.
I used to have it on VHS. Yeah.
It came out in what, like
I
76?
think it was on.
No,
45
I think
millimeter.
it came out like 85, maybe
Okay.
82, somewhere around there.
What about you, Scotty?
So, again, a tie. I love Christmas Story. One of my favorites. Christmas Eve, 24 hours going into Christmas Day. Love TBS.
I remember. I always
Still
came
do it.
in at the same part every single time.
Such
And
a good movie.
The dad's yelling from the basement, and he comes up, and like smoke's billowing out. And it's incoherent, but you can hear him cussing, but like it's not.
Yeah, they say he actually created words for that so he could cuss but not cuss. He actually had to create words to sound like he was cussing. So one of the things I like to do is find out like little backstories to the movies, and things they did to film it. But I love that movie, and I went and visited. The house is still standing. It's in right outside of Cleveland,
Is it?
and so it's like a museum now. You can go inside the house. It's just really cool. But I love that movie. Watching 24 Hours, I'll catch it multiple times. But I also love Polar Express. And it's not so much. I love the story, but it's when it was made, it was cutting edge. Such great technology. Like Tom Hanks looks like Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
That's a terrible reason to like a movie. They did a
Because
great
of the
job with
quality
animation.
of they made it.
They made this
great.
cartoon look like a real person. Why didn't
It
you just
did.
use the real people? who's
But it was
already in
cutting edge for its
Obviously,
time,
he can
and I love
act.
it. And I love the story. The story's good.
there. Terrible story.
I love it.
Terrible story.
That's two. What's your third? Can you think of one? There's Tom
Oh,
Hanks
third?
take
Oh,
first and second place with his Polar Express.
I love Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Right? Hey, not like
As soon as you said
My wife.
eggnog, I was thinking of the moose with
My,
eggnog.
my wife hates that movie.
Mine too.
Yeah.
And she absolutely hates it. She said, I hate that movie. If I
good.
turn it on, she'll leave the room. Sometimes the house.
So
Going shopping.
you know what the selling or the not the selling point, but like the reason she hates that, like it was the last straw, was they're all sitting around Christmas dinner. And there's no music going on. You just hear people eating.
Well, they're trying to see how dry the turkey was because it was dry.
Oh my goodness.
Not you, Dara.
So National Lampoons is your other one.
Yeah, I'll go with the top three. Yeah, pick that one.
It's tough, and I might change. I tell you, what it's not is Polar Express. It's 100% I would say
I
number
think fourth
one.
place is fine.
Number one is probably none of y'all mentioned these. Number one is probably The Grinch, but it's Jim Carrey's version.
No.
Okay, that's a
Yes.
good one.
Suck eggs, Josh.
Uh,
Cordially, of course.
cordially.
The Santa Claus is probably number
Ooh, I do
two.
like that one.
The first one, not the other, not the 9 sequels they
Yeah,
destroyed
right.
the series with or destroyed the whatever. And then I don't know, man. I'd probably have to say the first Home Alone.
Also a good one. Yeah.
Just really like, and that's nothing but nostalgia. That one is. And so is Santa Claus.
I would
There's a lot
venture
of
to say
nostalgia,
Lost
too.
in New York is better than Home Alone 1.
No, 100% disagree.
I would venture to say
You're gonna tell me suck egg
watch
again?
yourself
Before
Because-
you wreck yourself.
before we.
All right, it
That's how
has
that goes. Watch yourself before you wreck thyself.
it has Tim Curry, it has Donald Trump, it has Rob Schneider, and I believe the jokes are funnier. The house is funnier.
Yeah, whatever, Josh. Don't
But
care.
it plays on the first one. So how can it be funny
Yeah.
if it plays off the first one?
And I agree with that. I understand why the first one's so good. My problem with the first one is that everyone is so disrespectful, whereas in the second one that's toned down, but the jokes are still as funny.
I mean, I like the second one. I actually like it a lot. It's definitely in the top 10. It might even be higher, but I just like the first one a little better. And
The newest
it's a
one's-
really good sequel because most sequels are terrible. And
Right.
it's
They
a
are.
really good sequel, I think. I really like the second one. It's still one of my favorites, but
They greenlit the second one before the first one was released.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
Have you all seen Klaus?
Yes.
Yes.
Watched it
It's
the other day.
surprising.
Yeah, it was
good.
it was very, very good.
It's surprisingly good, and there's a lot of good movies I didn't mention there.
Is that the one that is that the post? The one with the postman? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really good. I like that one.
I like the animation in it.
Yeah.
I think like the art was really great.
Not as realistic as your Polar Express.
But way above
This is the Polar Express.
But
You're
is
going
it-
to sit
is-
on this train for 3 hours, and you're going to shut up and watch the whole movie.
So what kind of animation
where
is like
nothing happens?
all the Burt Ives movies, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and Frosty, and Frosty's a cartoon. The other one, like Rudolph,
Yeah.
Year Without a Santa Claus. What do you call that? Stop motion? Is it? It's not clay.
It's not clay, but it's stop motion for
No, it's
sure.
stop motion.
Stop motion.
Those are really good. I like those old '60s movies. Those are good. You were like in high school or something, then, weren't you?
Not quite.
Oh, okay. College? Oh, okay.
Worst Christmas movie.
Worst
Ooh,
Christmas
work.
movie.
Okay.
All right. Polar Express.
It's good. It's a good one to submit. All right, moving on. Eddie, worst Christmas movie.
Polar Express.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
Sir, I'd like to shake your hand. There's an
Okay.
extra
I said it
bonus prize
first.
waiting for you at the end. I didn't believe you. Are you serious?
Yes.
All right, knuckles.
All right.
With an elbow. Elbows, bows. I was also going to say Polar Express. I
great.
hate that movie.
Uncanny Valley animation. It just creeps
Do
me
you
out.
not like it because of the animation?
I don't like the animation, specifically the people.
Disqualified.
There's
I
a
love
part. There's a
You
part.
love it because of the
Because of the
animation. You
animation.
hate it because of the animation. The story is terrible.
I hate it because of the story
Okay,
as well.
you're requalified.
The story is ridiculous.
There's
and
a
just
part.
like
It just doesn't end.
it draws on.
Let's
and
get
and
on with it, bro.
There's a part in Polar Express where there's a non-animated elf that just travels with everybody.
Is it a wooden doll or something?
No, so it's
Pop acid before watching movies or something?
No. I will show
A
you the clip.
non-animated
There's
elf?
So there is an elf that is stuck in this motion.
Like a real elf?
No.
Oh, so that's what I thought he meant. Like
Yeah.
it's like a real elf mixed in with the animation. You mean he's not?
Yeah.
He's not animated. I
He's
got
not
you.
animated, so
And
he like
that's an
everyone's
ambiguous
marching.
term, I think.
Everyone's marching, and he
Is it
is
though?
stuck, and they covered it up really well. But he's just going straight like this the whole time.
They're like, quick, everyone, run in front of this elf.
Yes,
It's not
yes,
moving.
that's
He's just
exactly what's
floating
going
across the screen.
on.
That's weird. There's another scene where like the boom mic drops into the scene.
Of Polar Express.
Yeah.
Really?
Look for it.
I just listen. This movie is this 19-day train ride that never gets there. And then when he does get there, he's on some weird conveyor belt through this toy factory that's abandoned forever. Like
He's in Santa's shop.
in
yeah.
the freaking movie, we get it. Chuckles. Let's move on.
The elf
It's
was
terrible.
Creepy.
But
The
you know
elves
what?
Are creepy.
The whole thing is
Yeah.
creepy. But you know what? I think I've narrowed down why I hate it. You know that? Are you guys I've talked about this before? Are you familiar with the 7 basic story types? You ever heard that?
Enlighten me.
There's supposedly there's only 7 basic story types, and every story is a form of that story retold.
Okay.
So like one of them is slay the monster. So like you think Godzilla or whatever. Another one is rags to riches, like
They definitely
Cinderella.
don't slay Santa Claus.
Yeah, whatever. This
slay all
isn't this
day.
isn't it? Okay, he slay all day. Quest is one of them. So Lord of the Rings,
Is that what that is?
Voyage and
Or supposed to
Return.
be?
Voyage and Return's another like. What's one? Chronicles of Narnia. Wizard of Oz is a quest story. I hate that movie. Hate that story.
All right, you can.
No,
leave
you-
now.
Yeah, Allie, my wife thinks the same thing. She's like, that's my childhood favorite movie. Blah 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 blah
That's
blah.
his favorite movie.
It's a terrible movie. It's terribly done. The acting's terrible. Cinema's terrible. The story is absolutely hideous. All of it's terrible. The jokes are ridiculous. You all look like you want to fight, and that's fine after the show. But I absolutely hate quest stories, and Polar Express is a quest story, and that's one of the 7 basic types of stories is quest. I hate quest stories so much because it's just, you know what's going to happen as soon as you... Lord of the Rings. I like Lord of the Rings. I hate the part with Frodo. For one, I can't stand Frodo. They should have gave it to Bilbo. You know, whatever. Yeah. We're not going to get into that. Okay. But the quest part of Lord of the Rings, I absolutely hate. When they're on Frodo, Sam is the man. Frodo's just this little whiny kid. I don't know if you're a Lord of the Rings fan. You're glaring at me, so I'm guessing you are. But the quest part, I love the rest of the story. I hate the part when Frodo's taking 19 years, did you know that if you read the books, to get to Mount Mordor. We all know what's going to happen. He's going to throw the ring in.
We don't know that.
At the
That's
end.
The point.
You do know, because it's a happy ending story. You can tell by reading it's a happy... I like a story with a twist where sometimes they're happy, sometimes they're not. You know what's going to happen, and all it is this quest. You know what's going to happen at the end, and all this stuff is just getting in the way. Oh, here's this thing in the way. He's going to slay that. Here's this thing in the way. He's going to dodge that. It's just not... It's like a road trip. I want to get there. I hate road trips.
Great movie, by the way.
I hate road trips. But anyway, that's probably why I hate Polar Express, is because I hate quest stories, because they're so predictable and they're so long, and it's nothing but all these ridiculous, because it seems like it takes forever. It seems like the train ride takes forever because it's this quest with all these little minor inconveniences getting in the way, and he just swipes them out of the way and lands there and wins his quest.
Well, that's my problem with the Polar Express, and it's not
Glad
that
I can put it in words for you.
Not that it's a quest story. It's that it's a bad quest story. So it's a 30-minute
Which
story.
Is arguably every quest story.
No.
But carry on.
Carry
on. The man's talking. Don't interrupt the man.
It's a 30-minute story that they prolong with manufactured problems along the way.
Every quest story. You need to get from here to there. Done. Oh, but wait, we're going to manufacture a bunch of problems that we know you're going to beat, but we're just going to let you beat them and then make the story 90 times longer than it needs to be.
Lord of the Rings, you see the part where the eagles come in. I was talking the eagle at the beginning of the thing. And just fly and then drop it in.
All right,
why didn't they just give it a legless and let him attach it to his arrow and fire it straight into the...
There's talk
the
about this with J.R.R. Tolkien. He talks about this. He addressed that issue. Eagles weren't able to get into Mordor.
Except when they rescued Frodo. And that's the thing, is everybody argues that Frodo's so strong. He's the only one that could have taken the ring.
Rudy
he is
the strong one.
Who?
Rudy. He's talking about Samwise.
Oh, yeah. He saved Frodo so many times. Samwise did. Frodo's weak. He's strong. He has the strongest character. Yeah, up until it mattered. Then he was willing to toss the whole world away and keep the ring for himself. Golem's the hero. He took the ring and sacrificed himself to save the world. Frodo just sat there.
Interesting.
I've had this argument with my wife before. So I was like, why not send Bilbo? You've read The Hobbit. That man's like a hero. He's out slaying things. He can stand the ring. But her argument was, well, he lost it at the beginning of the movie. Remember, he lost it and freaked out on Frodo. So he's not as strong as Frodo. Except Frodo only had it 19 years before he freaked out and turned away. Bilbo had it for 60. Before he didn't doom the whole world. He just said, it's mine. That's what his freak out. Completely different freak outs, completely different timelines.
But you have to understand
your argument's invalid. Whatever you're about to say is invalid.
You have to understand what...
Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time. We've heard some great arguments. We've heard some wannabe arguments. And that's going to be the end of the show. So, anything you'd like to say before we head out? I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, you have to understand what the ring represents in order to understand the weight that it puts on.
Okay, but here's the thing. You're about to tell me all this weight crap, but it's the same weight that was on Bilbo. You're not dispersing my argument that he's stronger and they should have gave it to him in the beginning instead of waiting.
Yes, I am. And I'm going to say it because Bilbo, the ring represents sin. The ring represents the evil that's within all of us, and he kept it because he didn't want to get rid of it. Frodo continued on knowing that he had to get rid of this.
That's all you got?
No, that's the truth.
But
it's the truth. But, like, Bilbo wasn't willing to give up his sin, his problems before everyone else.
Except he did.
Not intentionally. Frodo did it intentionally. Gollum...
Just like he intentionally turned around and said, "Screw you to the rest of the world. I hope you burn in the flames of Mordor, because I walk free."
I'm saying that Samwise is ultimately...
Samwise is selfless.
He is. He is the hero, the unsung hero of that.
Rudy. And the part is, and then Frodo just...
But he didn't carry it. He didn't carry the ring. It didn't have its influence over him. He had to he had to befriend Frodo in order to help keep him accountable to throw it in. It wouldn't have happened without Samwise, just like Frodo wouldn't have thrown it in. Your argument is invalid.
He didn't throw it in. You're invalid.
No.
Invalid, even.
Invalid. I am.
You know, another
produce
good
more
movie
children.
is
That's a good point. Not going to concede to it yet, but that's a good point. Give me something to think about. You're still wrong.
I'm not.
Who was it that had the story about the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation when he's calling them all the names? Was it you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're talking. You know, he goes on this big rant calling his boss all these different names. He couldn't remember what all the phrases he's supposed to say. So all the because the whole family's there, they're all watching him. They're all holding up signs of the different phrases he's supposed to say. So he just randomly picks one. If you watch his eyes, he's just picking different signs and just saying the words
Out
in
of
just
order and
completely
whatever.
random order. That's why it's just so random and just funny.
That
Because
is
he's just
so
reading
funny.
the signs one at a time.
Yeah.
Just
I thought you were going to tell it earlier when we were talking about that because someone told another
I know
story
that he
about
is one of the most hated people in Hollywood.
Really?
Chevy Chase?
Yeah, Chevy Chase. Yeah, Chevy Chase is not a liked person
My wife hates him. That's why she hates that movie. But why is he not liked? Is he just...
because he's hard to work with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he and Bill Murray is too. But him and Bill Murray, in their first interaction with each other on SNL, got in a fist fight.
wow.
Well, weren't they both in was it Caddyshack?
It was Caddyshack, but
And-
guess what? They never had a scene together.
Yep. All their scenes, they were all filmed in Booth but they never worked together at all.
Rodney Dangerfield, dude.
Oh my goodness.
I love that guy.
Can't get no relief.
You can't get no relief. No respect, I tell you.
It is nice sitting here with you guys in front of the nice warmth of the fire we have going on.
It's quite... Eddie's
so
getting
great.
warm over there, buddy, next to
Yeah,
that
it's
fire.
getting a little hot.
We have a fire?
It's very
Yeah,
hot.
It's very warm back here. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh. Didn't even realize it.
I feel like it should be in my workout clothes right now.
Speaking of clothes, Josh, what are you wearing?
My Christmas sweater.
Well, this is a gentleman's show.
Yeah,
So we dressed up like gentlemen. Eddie, of course, is going to do what Eddie does and wear a t-shirt. But
Yeah.
you, we expected
Yeah,
a
class.
little higher class.
You had
Yes.
the Peaky's blinders hat on last time, the vest, and you show up in a Christmas sweater. It's Florida. What are you wearing?
Yeah, when we said, I think what probably happened is he asked what we're wearing, and we talked about, it's Christmas, it's Florida, we're probably going to sweat, and you heard Christmas sweater.
I did.
Yeah.
It's got to be it.
I did.
Because you look ridiculous.
At least I didn't show up in my gym clothes.
That's,
That's a win. Yeah.
thank
Thank you.
heavens for that.
I'll drink to that.
Peloton sales went up, though.
I sure did.
So I've waited long enough. How about this giveaway?
Oh, we'll get to
We'll
that.
get that.
Yeah,
We'll
we
get
got
that.
kind of saved the best for last. We
Yeah, of
got
course,
that at the
yeah,
end of the show for sure.
Yeah, of course.
So that giveaway is just a special prize.
It's a special prize.
For sure.
Yeah,
Special prize.
yeah. Just for you.
We're going to do that soon?
At the end.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah.
Is that an
We need,
acorn?
we need Eddie to storm
Or
off
is
again.
that
I'm never doing this
is that
again.
a hobbit? No, it's a dwarf. Is it not?
Wrong on all accounts.
Yeah,
Josh.
wrong on all
You
accounts.
just made
Straight.
9 guesses in one sentence.
So
Is that an acorn cob?
is
Acorn,
it?
cobbit, oak,
Cherrywood.
pine cone.
So
Is that a
Missouri
pine
Meerschaum
cone?
did make a acorn-shaped dwarf cobbit.
That's
Which is
close.
church one.
That's
So
close.
that was
yeah.
one guess.
Yeah,
So what?
that's my first guess.
Wrong.
What is that?
Wrong.
You're right that they used this
It is a pipe.
shape
You're right.
for one of the cobbits. They used to make this, I think this is a Great Dane pipe. They don't make it
really?
anymore. They make Great Danes, but they don't make this acorn shape anymore.
So that's a Missouri Meerschaum?
This is a Missouri Meerschaum that one of my YouTube viewers sent me. I think he was a customer, and he colored it up. Did kind of this is all his finish.
Wow, that's
awesome.
really cool.
and send it to me as
So
a
much
gift.
nicer.
I am not super impressed with this. I am very much looking forward to its age.
I mean, it's a little one-dimensional to me.
I agree.
It's
The
not-
11th day of Christmas?
Yeah.
Well, the 12th day of Christmas is really what you're after, and this is just, it just barely falls short.
Yeah.
Unlike Polar Express,
Well,
which
Well,
falls
it did
way
not
short.
fall short at all. It
Falls
was
way
great.
short.
Exceeded all expectation. But you never
Yeah.
asked me what my worst movie was.
Because it's also your best movie, apparently.
I don't have one.
Polar Express. What is your worst movie? You don't have one
Uh-huh.
for real? There's no movie that you can't stand.
There's a few of those, like Christmas with the Cranks. Not a fan.
Really?
The one where the Arnold Schwarzenegger's chasing after the.
Jingle All the Way?
Yep, don't like that one.
It's pretty dumb.
It is. But really, I was actually putting a lot of thought into my worst movie. And the only thing I can come up with is one I've never watched all the way through. It's a Wonderful Life. Not that I hate it. Not that I hate it.
We're going to take him out back and beat him.
I fall asleep
At his own
every time.
house.
I've never. I've seen the beginning. I've seen the middle. I've seen the end.
It
I've
actually
never
was a
seen
bomb
all
at
of
the
it.
box office when it
Really?
first came out. Yeah,
Christmas Story was the same way.
it bombed because of its source material. It was, I mean, it was a book first, but it's very sad material, and people are coming out of World War II
Right.
very like. They want to be hopeful. They want to be happy. They want to be.
They want that quest story.
Yeah, they want something to be far more.
I want a feel good story.
Yes, and it wasn't, because it's a guy that is talking about suicide because of his placement. He doesn't know where he belongs, and it failed at the box office, and therefore it was played in like the 60s or 70s on TV. So give it, 15, 20 years, and it does much better on TV and becomes a staple of TV, and then does it grow?
Christmas Story the same way.
Yeah.
It flopped in the box office, and they pulled it like 2 weeks before Christmas. Like it didn't even show during Christmas, and they I think 10 or 15 years later they started showing it again, and it was just this rage. Everybody loved it. Like it flopped so bad they threw away almost all the movie memorabilia. Like there's very little exists because they just got rid of all of it because this thing
Really?
just flopped. No one's gonna want this crap, and now it's this huge hit. But funny story about James Stewart. He was his name James. Yeah. He was a pilot in World War II, and he joined the Air Force, and they were going to basically use him to just PR everything, just tour the U.S. He's like, I joined to fight. Let me go fight.
Yeah.
And he was part of a bomber group. I think they lost like 90% of their guys.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, because he wanted to fight so bad, he found ways to get on more missions because he wanted to just keep going and keep going and keep going. And he had terrible PTSD from it. And there's one scene that's either It's a Wonderful Life or one of those other movies, not long, or like one of his first couple movies back from World War II, where they tell him they tell him his brother died in the war, and he has like this terrible like breakdown on camera and starts just kind of going kind of crazy. He had a real PTSD episode on camera, and they kept it rolling, and that's what stays in the movie. It's him having an actual PTSD moment from the war, but because it looked so real, they kept it in the movie, which is kind of crazy.
They probably didn't even know what it was back then either.
Well,
No, it was
like-
what Patton call it. He's known for. I forget what they called it, but every war has PTSD. They just call it like homesickness for the first like Revolutionary War, Civil War is homesickness.
Shell shock.
Shell shock of
Yeah,
World War
that's
One.
it. That's what I was thinking.
That was World War One, but I can't remember World War II. They called it something else.
It's a Wonderful Life is basically an alternate version of A Christmas Carol.
I think it's kind of the ghost or the angel kind of shows them the different stories.
Yeah.
So in The Christmas Carol, it was about a guy who thought nobody could live without him, real full of himself. And then It's a Wonderful Life is about a guy who was a good guy all his life, who decided he didn't think his life meant anything. So yeah, pretty interesting. But then the ghosts and
Right.
I would venture to say that Scrooge could have had all he needed from Marley and Ghost of Christmas Past. I don't think the other two ghosts were necessary.
I've heard you make this argument before.
well, Dickens got paid by the word. Yeah.
Interesting. I've never read
I
it.
think there's an argument for Ghost of Christmas Present. I don't think there is an argument for Ghost of.
I think
Christmas
I agree
yet
with
to
you.
come.
Like, I mean, I'm actually halfway through the book right now. I want to finish it again before giving my opinion, really, but so I'm going to give partially opinion. I think I agree with you because I see what you're saying. Like the Ghost of Christmas Past, like really kind of broke him, and then present helped a little, and then the future I don't think really is what broke him. It's just like he already, I think, wanted to change. Especially reading the book, you see a lot of that reading the book. He already wanted to change. He was regretting things. He asked. He's like, I wish I could say something to Cratchit. I wish I could say something to that kid that asked for whatever at the door the other day. He's already saying that at Christmas Past. He's already like having that change. But you don't catch all of that in the movie. At least I didn't. But I don't listen to every little detail. But yeah, I think I agree with you because the future is just like this scare. Like he's already there, and it's just like, oh, I know you already believe all this. You already want to make these changes, but guess what? Time's up. And that's why he breaks down, because he already wants those changes, and the time's up, and he realizes he can't make those changes. I think it's not so much afraid of dying, it's more afraid of wrong, at least I think, more afraid of not being able to right those wrongs he's done, which came from past and then present, built on that, because he sees the people he's wronged that he can't fix, but then he sees people he's wronging currently and can fix.
Right.
And then future's just like, hey, time's up. And he's like, no, give me more time.
Yeah.
So I think I agree with you there. But I want to finish the book again.
And I know people will disagree with me, but I think like the best representation of that story is done by the Jim Carrey version.
I agree with
of the
you.
some people that did the same with Polar Express. I think they did a much better job of relaying what the book was trying to say. Whereas like with Muppet Christmas Carol, you get the humor in it. I don't think
it was great for nostalgia.
Right.
And it told the basic story, but I agree with you.
But if you talk about the Ghost of Christmas Past, and the Ghost of Christmas Past is like a flame. Like at one point he could have 0 heads and a torso, and at other times he has 20 heads and 1 torso. Like almost as if like he's being told in a very like fluid motion. I think that's a better representation. There's the Ghost of Christmas Present being a very large individual, but that can fit in any space. They talk about that. He can fit anywhere with ease. And if you look at the other, I immediately think of Mickey's Christmas Carol. Mickey's Christmas Carol, you've got the Ghost of Christmas Present. Yeah, Scrooge McDuck. You've got this giant who can't fit anywhere, you know, and that's not how that's told.
Yeah, I was very disappointed in the poor representation of Charles Dickens' story by Mickey Mouse. Yeah, it was just Disney just fell short there. I was really disappointed.
Came out in '83. You're welcome. It came out in '83.
You would know that. I actually believe you.
Yeah.
Not even going to Google it. GTS. George T. Stagg. That's what that stands for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Uh-huh.
Well, that's about all we got for you. If you've watched this long, what are you even doing with your life?
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's Christmas Eve. You got families. Or you don't. I mean, that's sad. Thanks for joining us. And Eddie's laughing about it. Unsubscribe to Eddie and subscribe to us.
Take your subscription. Send it to us.
Yeah, we wouldn't normally say that, but Eddie, we care for you, bud.
Yeah.
We want to help him out. So this one time, please transfer your subscriptions from him to us.
Thanks.
I have a YouTube channel too.
Like we said, transfer your subscriptions from Eddie to us. Unless you want to watch one video about a tasting. It tastes like beer. Join Scott. Scott? No. Josh.
No,
Yeah,
Josh.
you're good.
Jack?
Yes, that's it.
So thank you for joining us on this very special episode, Christmas Eve Smoke. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Please like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the absolute nonsense that we talked about. That's about all we got. Eddie? Josh? Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it. And with that, that'll wrap up 2024 for us, and we will see you all again in February 2025.
Unless we see you sooner. Just kidding. Not happening. See you in February.
See you then.
So, about this prize. We didn't do the prize.
Oh,
so,
that's coming up
yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
We're getting to it. Yeah, at the end.
Yeah.
How much longer do you think?
Will you give him something, please?
fun. You know. So I have been saving
got?
this for a long time.
I win the prize?
You did. You got a special prize just for you.
Oh, man.
So I've been saving this since October just for you.
Nice.
So we actually have 2 prizes for you today.
Okay.
The first prize is something that's very
Yeah.
coveted. It's very hard. Josh is still trying to get the same prize,
Okay.
but it is the gift of our friendship. We wanted to give this to you.
All right, yeah. Hey,
Yes,
let's give it up
so,
for Eddie.
Yes, great job, Eddie. You have won.
God bless you, sir. This is awkward.
Okay, well,
I was just reaching for this anyway.
and so since you wanted something, probably tangible, I brought back
A selection.
a
Finally,
select
expertly curated.
pipe filter
Curated.
just for you. There you go, sir.
Extra thick.
You are welcome. Thanks for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
No, you cannot.
All right. And with that, yeah, you're welcome. Thanks.